Good morning, student. My name is Kenaras, working as assistant professor in the Department of Civil Engineering. So today I will explain about characteristics and perspectives of the solid waste. It is the part of our subject, that is solid waste management. So here the characteristics, it is also called as a properties. To know the properties, it will helps for the collection of solid waste and the transportation of the solid waste and the recycling of the solid waste, and and, and transportation of the solid waste from the collection point to disposal point, and how to minimize the solid waste generation. It is based on the quantity. So first of all, I am explaining about characteristics of solid waste. To understand the characteristics, it is essential for the designing of effective waste management systems. So, for example, to know the character of the solid waste in acidic nature or alkaline nature, so that will helps to design of a design of a container of the or bins. So, which will helps to how to it impact on the containers and how to it impact on the our surrounding environment, and also how to affect on our surrounding human beings. So here that is based upon the that based on characteristics can be classified into four types. First one is physical characteristics, and second one is chemical characteristics, and third one is biological characteristics, fourth one is thermal characteristics. So first one is physical characteristics. So these physical characteristics are we can feel it and we can see or we can touchable. So here, so there are the first character is density. So density means it is the mass by volume. Density means by mass per unit volume. It is usually units in kg per meter cube. Kg per meter cube. It varies the significantly with the waste type. So in case food waste is denser than the paper waste, and also organic it is denser than the paper waste. So density, if the density is varies with the geographical different locations, and also season of the year and location to locations, so the density was different. So here it is important for the vehicle sizing and landfill design and waste compaction. If that sample is as a un, uncompacted sample, so that sample will reduced by the up to 75% only. So the remaining 20 will it is suitable for the microbial activities. So examples for uncompacted residential waste, so 150 to 250 kg per meter cube compacted, so 500 to 600 kg per meter cube. So next character is moisture content. So the moisture content, it refers to the amount of water which present in the waste, that is called as a moisture content. It is expressed in percentages. It is expressed in percentages. So here there is a formula is there. So moisture content is equal to dry waste minus weight of the wet waste divided by weight of the wet waste into 100. So here we take the one empty container, that weight is W1. The empty container filled with waste material. So then after weight equal to W2. Weight equal to W2. So after that weight plus waste waste apparatus, that is placed into the oven at the degrees of 105 degrees centigrade Celsius. So after the placing of oven, we will wait for the 24 to 48 hours. After 48 hours or 24 hours, so remove the container and waste material from the oven. So we clearly observe that, so that waste that way that wet material converted into a dry waste material. That dry waste material, which is automatically composed by the natural process composed by the natural process, that will be converted into a compost material. That compost material, which is used to production of the crops, used as a high rich fertile soil so this moisture content, it influences the weight. So if water which presents in the waste, so that will increase the weight, so that the result in the so transportation is difficult. If the wet waste after oven, that is a calorific value dry condition, so dry condition is, it is burned in the presence of oxygen, so that it releases into the heat. That heat is called as a calorific value, and calorific value, and this moisture content suitability for the combustion, so combustion material. And also it high moisture makes incineration inefficient and promotes the anaerobic decomposition. So anaerobic means it is the absence of the oxygen, so that waste material completely decomposed by the so microorganisms. This moisture content examples are food waste. Food waste up to 70% of the moisture content, and paper. So paper waste is also contains the so 5 to 10% of the moisture content. Next one is calorific value of a solid waste. Detailed explanation. So calorific value is the amount of energy released into the released into the atmosphere when a substance is completely burned in the presence of oxygen. That process is called as a calorific value. If it is a critical parameter in the solid waste management, especially for waste to energy applications like insulation or RDF. RDF means refuse derived fuel productions. So if the waste is in dry condition, when we have to burn, so that cases the most of the energy so released into the atmosphere. If the calorific value is high, that waste it is used as a waste to energy material. That waste is suitable to waste to energy materials that will directly transported to the so treatment processing units. So this calorific value expressed in so kilojoules per kg and kilocalories per kg and moles per joules per kg. So 1 calorie is equal to 4.184 kilojoules. So this commonly units are used in so kilocalories per kgs. And next one is next character is particle size and shape. Particle size and shape. So before the particle size, it is a waste is it is a combination of so different kind of materials like food waste, paper waste, glass waste, wood waste. So these materials are combined in our collecting soil waste. So that's why some materials are affected or some materials are not affected. So in that classification, so most of the materials are organic or inorganic material, or biodegradable or non-biodegradable material. If biodegradable materials are so completely decomposed by the so natural process, that waste materials are not affected on our surrounding environment and also our so surrounding human health, that is also maintain the so the relationship between the human living organisms and non-living components. That should be ecosystem must be balanced while using of the biodegradable material. If in case non-biodegradable material, so that will directly affect on our surrounding environment and also directly affect on and nearby residents. So after that, the next category is particle size and shape. Particle size and shape. So this particle size is affect the separation techniques, the segregation at source point or segregation at treatment unit and segregation at so processing stage. So this particle size is so separation affects the separation. Why? Because it is a combination of the so different sizes. So it may be it contains the large size, or it contains the so small size, it contains the minimum size, and it contains the inertial materials. So that's why it effect on the so the effect the segregation process is difficult, and also volume reduction. Why? Because the particle size is high, so at that condition the porosity will be high. So the gap between the two particles is very high, that is called as a porosity. If the porosity is high, so the volume is increases. In that cases, the most of the solid waste material can be compressed by the compactors. So thus result in the total volume of the solid waste will be reduce reduce when it is possible to the particle size is very high. And also we clearly observe that shape, the most of the solid waste shape is irregular shape. So irregular shape, it is particles may be under the some mechanical processing. And coming to next character, so that is volume and weight. So this volume and weight, it influence the storage spaces requirements and transportation cost. If the waste is in a wet condition, that should be directly increase the transportation cost, and also transportation is difficult. And volume, so if the solid waste collection waste volume is very high, so that is easily fill the container. After that filling after overall fill the container, so that should be so overflow from the containers, that will directly affect on our surrounding environment, and they spread the so diseases like dengue, malaria, typhoid. So these are diseases are spread into the nearby residents. And coming to next character, so that is color and appearance. So this color and appearance helps in the visual identification of waste types. For example, medical waste may appear red or yellow, so if color coded, while household waste is usually mixed color is ash. So if the clearly observe that the color of the solid waste, which will helps to the collection of the waste material into the separate bins, like the dry waste collected in blue bins and wet waste collected in green bins. So this green bins means it is a recyclable material, and blue means it is a not recyclable material. And like so e-waste is collected into the so black color container or black color bins, and medical waste collected in the yellow color container. And hazardous waste or hospital waste is collected into the yellow container yellow container. And next type is chemical characters. In this chemical character, which helps to know the pH value of the waste material, it may be either acidic nature, or it may be either acidic nature or neutral condition. So here it is based upon the character, so organic and inorganic content. It is important for the composting or incineration. In case organic means, so that organic material, by using the earthworms, that material is converted into a vermicompost material. That vermicompost material, so that should be applied to the natural apply to the so government parks and individual households and community residentials, that is used as a fertile soil, high nutrient fertile soil, that will help to support the production of the crops. And next character is coming to next one is carbon to nitrogen ratio. It is ideal to 30:1 for the composting material. And second one is heating value, so it determines the energy recovery potential and insulation. So it is also we had discussed in our physical properties, that is a calorific value. That calorific value, that should be directly impaired down heating value. So next one is heavy metal presence. It indicates this metal presence. It indicates the it need for the secure handling or treatment of a solid waste. So here clearly observe that. So it clearly observe that table. So what are the impacts and what is the definition? So first one is aspect column, and second one is organic waste, and second one is inorganic waste. So first aspect is nature. So nature wise, we clearly observe the organic waste is derived from the living organisms. Living organisms means plants or animals or human beings. And next one is inorganic waste. So this inorganic waste, which is derived from in non-living or man-made materials. So non-living components like earth material or earth material or soil materials. So these are the non-living components. And second aspect is biodegradability. So biodegradability, these biodegradability materials can decompose naturally in the presence of oxygen, that is called as a biodegradable material. And non-biodegradable material, it does not decompose easily, and it does not decompose by the natural process in the presence of oxygen, that is called as a non-biodegradable material. So this is biodegradable material, so that material should be converted into a our compost material. That compost material which is used to so natural gardenings and households gardenings and parks and gardens. And next aspect is decomposition time. So the decomposition time for organic waste is very fast in terms of days to weeks. I compare to organic waste, that inorganic waste decomposition is very slow. So why? Because it is a not recyclable material and not decomposed material. That's why it will take the very it will take the higher time. It means years to centuries. And next aspect is used in compost material. This material is suitable to composting and biogas. Biogas in the presence of in the process of biomethane process, biogas is production by the animal dung. So that biogas is used for the our cooking of the food, and this and inorganic waste is not compostable material, not compostable materials. So organic waste examples are food waste. So in the food waste, it contains the vegetable peels or fruit peels and the leftover the food. And next one is garden waste. So garden waste, it contains the grasses, leaves and branches of the trees. So next example is paper, cardboard, and if uncoated or unlaminated, these papers are easily decomposed by the natural. Next one is wood or sawdust. So wood material also recyclable materials. Next one is animal manure or animal dung. So it is also recyclable material. And kitchen waste. Kitchen waste is a most of the leftover the food and inertial materials. And next one is cotton and jute fabrics. So these are the organic waste examples. And next one is inorganic waste examples. So inorganic waste examples are plastics. The plastics contains the carry bags and plastic bottles and packing materials. So most of the materials, if the cover or plastic so less than the thin material, that material going to be so recycled. More than the microns, the material not decomposed by the treatment plants. So next one is metal pieces. These metal pieces, it contains the aluminum cans or steel scraps. So most of the metal pieces are recycled by the heating of the metal. So next one is glass. Glass bottles are glass also recyclable materials, and ceramic and tiles. Ceramic tiles and these tiles are it is a used as a sand fill materials, so which is helps to level of the surface of the ground. So next one is electronic. Electronic means e-waste. E-waste material also inorganic material. Most of the component parts are recycled. Only left are the main body of the main body of the electronics is going to be not decomposed. Next one is batteries. Battery is very dangerous to the environment and human health. It is a so if the we clearly observe that if the battery is lithium battery, so that should be directly affect on our environment, and it should causes the effect on human health, that causes the cancers. And next one is synthetic textiles. It is a polyester materials or nylon materials. So this is about characteristics of the solid waste. So we to completely know the characteristics, how it handled to collection and how to transport it from the collection point to disposal point, and how to treatment the solid waste generation. Thank you.